Alright, we are gonna be doing the extras. Do we have extras? Options? No. Select chapter. Archives. There we go. I was worried I didn't get it for a second. Oh, it's got the flipping music. This looks really cool. Okay, welcome to Archives. Bendy and the Ink Machine began when the developer, cartoonist known as the Meatly, experimented with bringing a sketch 2D style into a 3D world. After turning the idea into a horror game, Chapter 1 of the game was created in a little under a week with programmer/friend Mike Desjardins and released on February 10th in 2017. Much to their surprise, it struck a chord with global indie gamers almost overnight. The Meatly and Mike Desjardins decided to drop all other projects to work on Bendy and tell our most unique Ink story. The entire game was completed a chapter at a time in a year and a half by a small but dedicated group of indie developers. Although the concept and story remained as originally intended, the game changed over development, as characters and models were refined from their early thrown-together versions. This archive is a peek behind the scenes at that process. Okay, so the archives is like a look at the prototypes of everything. So it's kind of like a museum but in game, which I found really cool. It's a cool idea. Henry Stein, once an equal business partner of Joey Drew, Henry Stein was a talented animator and a character designer until leaving the company around 1930. His place in Joey Drew Studios' history is somewhat undocumented, but he is often rumored to be the true creator behind many of the studio's most memorable characters. I hope we get to see him in Bendy and the Dark Rival or something, because we haven't seen ourselves yet. Danger Keep Out, I wonder what's in there. Concept Bendy, that's really cool. It's got like teeth. So that was the original Bendy. It's got gloves. So it used to split open. This is the first version of Bendy ever modelled. In the earliest concepts, Bendy was much smaller and cuter, with a face that split open to reveal a terrifying mouth. Damn, didn't know that. Alpha Bendy. This is the original game used design of Ink Bendy from the earliest version of Chapter 1. It is jokingly referred to as bird poop with a smell among the development team. I mean, what's it called? I find it really weird. Like, that's really cool that they developed it in such a short time. It's really cool. I wouldn't be able to develop it in ages. Beta Bendy. This was Ink Bendy's form until the release of Chapter 4. At that time, the game received a major visual upgrade and the title character got a new model as well. Okay, so that's what he used to look like until Chapter 4. And then Ink Bendy. Ink Bendy as we know him today, although similar to Beta Bendy, this upgraded version was remodeled, enhanced with a higher polygon count, and given new ink effects. I can see that now, yeah, that's really cool. And Beast Bendy. Ink Bendy's horrific final form in Chapter 5 pulled away the cartoon facade and revealed the ink demon within. That's really cool. Okay, Beta Searcher. Early in development, with just a few weeks to create Chapter 2, the Beta Searchers were designed in record time before being fully retooled later on. They were the first fighting enemies encountered in the game. So that was the first one in the beta. We've got the head of, what was this, Bertram Piedmont? Wow, cool boss fight. Final Searcher. The Final Searchers were far more robust in appearance. They were smoother with better ink effects and more human appearance. Yeah, you've got like a screaming mouth, it's more modelled, that's really cool. And it's taller, kind of. It stretches out of the ground. Sammy was a cool character. We've got pipers, strikers, and fishers in the background. Strikers. But yeah, we've got Sammy Lawrence, Beta Sammy. With his first appearance in Chapter 2, fan favorite Sammy Lawrence became a terrifyingly entertaining character. When his slim build was deemed not threatening enough, he was redesigned and given a better skeletal rig for more advanced animation. Okay. So that's in beta. And then, okay, so the final version came shortly after, I think. Sammy Lawrence, Final Sammy. Sammy Lawrence's final form came complete with a bulked up stature and more powerful limbs. The mad songwriter may finally get noticed now, at least by fans. He's flipping ripped. Yeah, you've got that. Alice Angel. Well, there are just no signs next to her. Okay. Oh, because it's for two different versions, there are no beta versions. Okay. That's really cool, so that's the more evil one. And this is Alison Pendle, I think that she was called. Very cool. We've got Thomas Connor, I think. Boris, that's a cool version. Thomas Connor. Okay, this is the first Boris. Oh gosh, that's awful. It looks like a wood interior as well, like wood inside. Beta Boris. Puffer was the original name of the character that eventually became Boris the Wolf. This early version was released with Chapter 1. He was quickly refined into the Boris we know today with the release of Chapter 2. That is awful. Oh, awful. Boris the Wolf. Boris the Wolf, a friend to the end, was designed using various references from cartoons of the 1920s, a blend of a West Coast and East Coast animation styles. This silent and supportive wolf won over the hearts of many, although at times he was a headache for the development team due to his AI taking on a mind of its own during production. So he'd just go off on his own. That kind of adds to his character in a way. Now we've got Brute Boris, the one we murdered. Brute Boris, Alice Angel's monstrosity. Brute Boris was one of the biggest surprises of Chapter 4. His design was roughly based on the Frankenstein monster, but with a more unfinished appearance. Alice took parts from him within him and substituted things that his body is rapidly rejecting. Okay, so that's why he kept... Okay, I see. That's why he kept, like, blah, blah. Like, kind of... You know what I mean, the thingies. I remember, the ink machine used to be on the floor in the room, but now it's, like, hanging. Ink, yep. Let's take a look at Butcher and the gang. The Butcher Gang. The Piper, Straker, and Fisher make up the Butcher Gang. The dreaded Butcher Gang. Interestingly, the ink-corrupted versions of the characters were designed first and then were reverse-engineered back into their more family-friendly cartoon forms. Oh, look at them. They're very nice. They were annoying and a little irritating, but cool. Nice. There they are, Butcher Gang. Original ink machine. Before a major visual upgrade, this version of ink machine was the one used in the game. Much of this machine's iconic fan-loved design was translated into the final version. Well, okay. We've got some cool posters lying around as well. We've got the end, projectionist heads, a throne kinda. I think this was a really cool game. I filmed this just after I filmed the previous one, which was Chapter 5, so thank you so much for watching, and bye bye, see you in the next one. Bye.